kitchen with Aris Latam, and I feel like I'm about to get the most amazing journey in preparing raw foods. Right? This is Peter from ScatteredJamaica, Panama. You guys already know what I do, right? So we're going to just lead off into, I'm going to ask right away, what are we doing with all these veggies and things that I'm seeing?
We're going to keep them fresh.
We're going to keep them fresh.
We're going to keep them fresh. Yeah, we're not going to kill them.
We're not going to cook them.
We're not kill them.
We're not kill them.
Yeah, no murderation right here. No murderation. So it's all about raw foods.
Right.
You know, raw sun food. So my company is called Sun-Fired Foods. And it's all about not cooking the sun out of the food, because ultimately what we eat is sun.
Right.
So all you're seeing right here is condensation of solar rays, all the different colors. You see the rainbow right here.
Wonderful.
It's sunshine.
Yes,
So as we say, we're going to keep it live. We're going to keep it fresh. And what we queue up to do here, we're going to do some jerk eggplant.
Jerk eggplant.
We're going to jerk the eggplant.
I will not go cook it. We're just going to jerk it without cooking.
We're going to put a wet jerk seasoning on it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put it in the dehydrator.
Yeah.
So the dehydrator is going to take 6 hours. It's like a real slow jerk motion.
Wonderful.
So it's going to dry out in 6 hours. But you still can eat it fresh. It doesn't have to be dehydrated. And then also, we're getting ready to do some cauliflower nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Cauliflower nuggets.
Cauliflower nuggets. So we have our cauliflower buds.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to do a Thai base, coconut macadamia batter.
Right.
And batter the cauliflower in it. Put it in the dehydrator also. And tomorrow the nuggets are ready, after 6 hours. But still, again, that's another dish that you can eat fresh.
I have a question for you. All of this is brand spanking new to me, right?
Yeah.
I grew up eating oxtail and jerk chicken and all these things, right? What got you started in eating this way and preparing your food this way?
Well, actually, it started in Grandma's kitchen. I observe, so I'm 69.
Right.
So when I born in 1947, my grandmother being from Barbados, and on my father's side, he was from Jamaica.
Right.
So every time I go in the kitchen with my grandmother, this is all she have, a whole heap of fresh food. We go to the market and she buy her a look of fresh food. And I noticed back then it was kerosene stove,
Yeah.
coal pot.
Right.
So grandma really didn't do too much cooking because that's a big job.
Right.
I mean, because it's a big family, Jamaican island family them is, about 50 of us in the same house.
Right.
So to cook for all them people is a big thing. So I noticed her cooking was very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And of course everything was fresh, even if it was fish.
Right.
It was fresh caught that morning because we were working with ice box. So we don't keep fish, we can't keep no fish a long time.
Right.
If it was pork,
Right.
fresh slaughtered that morning,
Right.
If it was chicken, it's me and grandpa in the chicken coop,
Right.
grab the chicken,
Yeah.
wring the neck,
Right.
brook it, take the feather off, and same thing, very light cooking. So just boil and steam and little light frying and those things. So growing up now, after migrating to New York and landing right in the hood, Bed-Stuy, and getting introduced to Sloppy Joe and hot dog and hamburger and the sad diet, the standard American diet. I noticed after a year, I come up with heart murmur. I used to be on the track team and I was on the swimming team, the gymnastics. And my stamina slowed down. But at the same time, now we're talking 1967.
Right.
You know what's going on in 1967 in the world? Revolution time. Revolution time. Whether it was
Fighting back against oppression.
yeah. So whether it was the Algerian Revolution or a fight against apartheid. Also there was the Vietnam War, the food war, the rice war.
Right.
So as a student, in the 60s, we didn't take no stuff.
Right.
So it was always, revolt, revolution, picking up the gun and the whole thing. But we figured out that one of the main revolution is we need to change this food business because the food we're eating is a weapon.
Right.
And I am not going to keep killing myself with a hot dog and a hamburger and some even jerk chicken.
Right.
Because every time I eat the thing, something go off.
Right.
But, and then also the hippie down the street, back to the land, flower power, you know, natural, you know, let's eat organic and all of this influence. And on top of that, now you have the Black Power movement.
Right.
So it's like, you know, we got to take charge. We got to take charge of our community. The apples in my community is not the same one like I see uptown.
Right.
So they're really feeding us some killer food.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's when it started, you know, vegetarianism. So now it's 46 years and the revolution continue,
Yes.
you know, as you
I know
say.
you branched off into teaching and traveling the world.
Yeah, well, you know, originally I'm trained as an educator.
Right.
So I have a master's in linguistics. I'm an educator. I used to teach language, English as a second language, Spanish and those things. But now I get the right subject. After traveling the world, dealing with linguistics and really getting this passion for the food, being a vegetarian and discovering all over the world all these wonderful different things, the whole creativity just really just step up a few notches.
Speaking of teaching, this is one of your students.
This is my student, Danny. Yes.
Mr. Danny.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. I know Danny is going to get going so we can see some things in action. Right?
Danny gonna rock it, man.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna put some chili powder. So that's 2 tablespoons of lime
Half
juice.
onion, just like this
Half
one
an onion, just like that. Can go right in there. This is a very power blender. We're gonna put 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Put a teaspoon of oregano. Just put it right in. Wild oregano. Measure a teaspoon in your cap. Just measure it right in your cap first. Eyes it up. Vibration cooking, as Verda May Grosvenor used to say. Well, the man right on it. Sure.
Think we're new to this shit.
Yeah, and the salt we use, BLACK, black salt.
Black salt.
Straight from India.
Okay.
High with sulfur. Now when we put this salt, we're gonna put a teaspoon of the black salt in there. Danny, let's blend that up. Let's get the top on there. And we're going into the real power blender. Line that up. Let's put it over there. We're going into the high power, 4.5 horsepower, the most powerful blender you can use right now. And Danny's gonna work that. Yes. Danny, stand on this side. Yes. Go ahead. All right, that's good. That's good for now. Bring the blender over here. Take the top off, and we're going to put some goji berries.
Goji berry.
High in antioxidants. It's a superfood.
Right.
We're putting 3 tablespoons of goji berry, and we're gonna put some macadamia. Some macadamia nuts. We're putting 1 cup of macadamia nuts. We soak the nuts for 12 hours.
Okay.
So, and we just keep them in the freezer. After we soak them, we drain the water off, and then we put them in the freezer. And to top it off, you know, it can't be Thai if it don't have coconut.
Right, of course.
So we want to introduce you all to the new foods on the market. I mean, yes, you can crack your coconut and make your coconut cream or your coconut milk, but you know, a lot of you, I know you're home and you say you may not have enough time, but you see, this is a 15-minute dish. So we use the coconut flour, okay, and we're gonna put a 1/2 cup of coconut flour, so you get the real coconut flavor.
Right.
Go on, Danny.
And the flour
Rock
give
it.
it some body too, right?
Gives you some body because we're looking for a batter. You know,
Yeah,
we want it
okay,
nice and thick and rich. So the macadamia, the goji berry. So we use, go ahead, Danny, just go ahead, make it work, man. Where we at? Let's bring it over here. Let's analyze where we are. Looks like we're gonna need a little moisture in there. Yeah, we need a little moisture in there. So we're gonna make it a little wet here. So what we're gonna do, let's get some tomatoes straight out of the fridge. What we do, we minimize the use of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab 4 tomatoes.
Try to grab the moisture from the ingredients you're using.
We're using tomato water.
Okay, got you.
Yes, get 4 of the plummy tomato. Those are the plum tomatoes. Those, perfect. Yeah, so 4 of these. Chef, let's go ahead and rinse them off. And we're gonna go ahead and drop them right in the blender, just like that.
There's 2 or that's not 1?
No, that's one. Yeah, just drop it right in, man.
For them?
Yeah, 4 of them. 4 plummy tomato. And we're gonna go ahead and blend this down.
So one of the characteristics of this style of cooking is minimizing water but using liquid from other.
Yeah, well, see, actually, go ahead. Just rock that, Danny. When I tell people I don't drink water, them say, well, you're crazy, or you mean you don't drink water, you need water? I say, I don't drink water as you know it. Okay? So Danny's gonna rock that. So what I use is living water.
Yeah.
My main source of water is coconut water, the young jelly water, because it's a living water. It's full of electrolytes, electrical energy, real powerhouse. That's good, Danny. Okay, get your small mixing bowl and let's put the eggplant right in there. I'm sorry, a little bigger, the cauliflower. So we're going to toss it to you. That's perfect. Just get your cauliflower right off in there. And let's get you a spatula, chef. So you can go ahead and pour the batter. Spatula it out and just put it right on the cauliflower, right on top. Yes. So the whole idea is to coat the eggplant, the cauliflower, in a nice thick batter like you're gonna fry. Right. You know, it's just like how the Thai do the Thai battered eggplant and cauliflower and these types of things. But instead of frying it, we're gonna put it in a dehydrator. So for me, I feel that water has to come through a plant. The water that's good for human consumption has to come through a plant because the plant is the filter. So the coconut tree is really a filter. So the same inorganic mineral raw, whether it's coming from the sea, the river, the lake, the stream, or wherever. Let's get on this side and work with the same thing. Let me see how the batter tastes. What do you say, Ricardo? You got this on film?
Yes.
Yeah, the batter tasting. Whoa, finger licking.
So you grew up in Panama.
Yes.
Was your upbringing very Jamaican?
Well, you know, see, we was on the Canal Zone.
Right.
You know, so we had the outer influence was the Republic of Panama, this Latin country, Spanish speaking.
Right.
In the Canal Zone, it was administered by the U.S. So on the zone, we live in American style culture with a whole bunch of military bases all over the place.
Right.
My grandfather working on the canal every day. So we was living in what they call quarters. But since moving to Brooklyn, I realized we was living in the projects. But they make it sound nice.
We use the rest of this and put on the...
Yeah, put it right on top. They make it sound nice. You know, and the same thing that was going on in the U.S., the Jim Crow and all them things was going on. Same thing happening in Panama. But them don't, them in the next man country, so them can't put colored over here and whites over here. What them put is silver through this door, gold through this door. Because my grandfather was paid in gold, in silver coins. And John McCain's father, you know John McCain from the U.S.?
Yeah.
In born right up the street from me.
A Panama,
In Panama, I'm born in the Canal Zone, yes.
Right.
Him father was get paid in gold coin. So when we go to the commissary, him walking through the gold door and my grandfather walking through the silver door. So that's how them do their apartheid, sophisticated.
I've been hearing that gold and silver term a lot since I've been in Panama.
Yeah, well, we the silver people, them call us, you know. But the real name that we prefer is we the diggers. We dig the canals with picks and shovel. We build that thing. My grandfather and then build it. But anyway, the Jamaican ancestry that we was able to manifest was basically what was going on in the home and in the community, because the outer community now was Colon, which is the Caribbean city where all of the migrants who came from the English, well, all over the Antilles, all over the islands. They come from Martinique, Bajans were the main workforce. I think there was 14,000 Bajans that was working on the canal. There was only maybe 300 Jamaicans, but there was more Jamaicans in Panama than any other group. Because you know how Jamaicans are. You know, let's get it right into the dehydrator.